Hi, I'm Coach Phil Hunter, and I have a email that was sent to me, and this is just the video response for it. So this woman, she went to a dance school, and this was one of her primary goals that she was going after, and she's just feeling a little bit down about it because she didn't get into the dance school that she wanted. So I'm going to go through this email now. So she says, "Hi Coach Phil Hunter, I hope you're well." Yes, I'm doing great, thank you. She says, "I've been in a bit of a downward spiral at the moment. I put my heart and soul into working towards my primary goal and got to the summer school in July. It was an overwhelming experience which put me way out of my comfort zone," she says in brackets, "which is great, but now I feel low since returning back home." So first thing, you should be really proud of yourself for going after your goal, and that's something that most people spend their entire lives trying to avoid, and that's going after their dream. So that's something you should really embrace and take to heart and be proud of yourself for that. You took the risks chasing your goals. You went after what you wanted, and most people will never do that. And sometimes it can take years to actually accomplish and achieve your dreams, and we're talking about big dreams here that people are going after. So it takes a long time to actually achieve goals, and it takes a long time to build up the skills necessary to get to where you want to be. And that's the first thing. It takes time, so don't be hard on yourself. Realize that you've actually went and chased your dream. You've actually went and took the steps, and she actually went traveling to a different country in order to actually compete and audition for the part in the team. So failure is part of success, and that's the other thing you need to realize. You have to zigzag your way towards success, and that means you're going to go up, you're going to be learning all these different skills, and then you might get some kind of obstacle or some kind of barrier or some kind of failure, but realize that even on that failure you still accomplish so much through the skills that you've learnt from actually going after and following that dream of yours. So that's a key thing to remember and to really to recognize. So even even whenever you have any experience failures, you're still miles ahead of everybody else who has never even tried or don't have that sort of courage to take that step to go after their dream. So that's important to realise. So the skills and experiences that you've actually learnt, that's going to far outweigh the failure. And if you keep on zigzagging your way upwards, even through past those obstacles, past those fears, that self-doubt you're going to experience, then it's just a matter of time before you actually reach and hit your dream. And everybody knows that there's going to be failures, there's going to be setbacks along the way. That's just part of the process, and you have to just acknowledge that there's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be times where you're feeling low because you're not where you want to be, or you're not getting there fast enough. We sort of live in that culture where you want that overnight success. You just want it to happen straight away, but it takes time to actually develop those skills in order to get to where you want to go. So it's like, I like to think of it, there's always going to be ups and downs, there's always going to be waves, and that's how life works. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down, but it's okay to feel low. It's okay to experience that. It's okay to have those setbacks, because that pain can be a big catalyst for change. Just like with a surfer who rides at the top of that wave, sometimes he goes down to the bottom, he finishes the wave, and that's where you've got to have patience. That's where you've got to just realise that sometimes it takes a bit of patience to catch that next wave, but as long as you're catching that next one, then that's the important thing. So feeling low can be, and you need to see it as a good thing. You know, the worst place that people can be in is in that lukewarm stage, and that's kind of that, you know, that comfort zone. You know, there's two places where you want to be. One is, you know, you want to be in that place where it's hot. That's where everything's going well. You've got that momentum. You know, your confidence is high. You're setting yourself bigger and bigger challenges because you've accomplished your goals. And the other place is that cold state, which is down at the bottom of the wave. And that's, you know, somewhere that can be a great catalyst for change as well. That can be somewhere where that pain can motivate and drive you forward, to push you forward in order to do the things that you need to do. You know, sometimes it's scary to take up a new hobby. Sometimes it's scary to go and take up a new skill and try to develop yourself, putting yourself out of that comfort zone. But the key thing is, you know, just like with the bow and arrow, sometimes when you pull that string back, that's where the tension is going to be whenever you pull it back. And that tension can be that big driver that fires that arrow forward. So pain motivates, you know, so the best thing to do is to accept those feelings of being low and use that pain as a catalyst for change. So this is how you kind of can master your emotions. It's, you take those feelings of self-doubt, you take those feelings of being low and disappointment, and you use those. You get emotional mastery over those and use those as fuel to drive you forward. Some of the best things in my own life have come from those times where I've experienced pain or failures or disappointment. You know, I've used that as a way to kind of propel me forward. So embrace that pain, use those emotions to take you to the next step. You know, figure out, create your new action plan of what it is that you need to do to ride that next wave. You know, to get back and to keep going and progressing forward. So pain, stress and discomfort is a good thing. You know, it means that you're growing. And most people don't experience that kind of pain because they stay in that lukewarm zone, that comfort zone. And that's not a good place to be for change and for success. Dr. Abraham Tversky has a great analogy, and I think this sums it up as well. He says, just like a lobster has to experience stress and discomfort in order to grow, a lobster, which is a soft, mushy animal that lives inside a rigid shell, you know, that shell doesn't grow. So as the lobster grows, that shell becomes very confining, and that lobster feels under pressure and uncomfortable. It feels that discomfort that we all experience just before growth. So what it does is it goes under a rock to protect itself from predators, and it casts off that shell and produces a new one. So eventually, as the lobster grows again, you know, it does the same thing. It sheds off its old one and it produces a new one. So the stimulus for the lobster in order to be able to grow is that pressure, is that stress and that discomfort. So we have to realise that times of stress are also signals for growth. And if we use adversity properly, then we can grow through adversity. Just don't stay under that rock in your old shell. You have to evolve and you have to grow. And we all grow through pain. So I think that's a great analogy to kind of sum up how that pain, that stress, that discomfort can actually be that signal to you that you need to grow, that you need to change, you know, you need to evolve. Whether that's, you know, developing your new skills, whether that's going down a different direction to help you to get there. You might want to actually figure out, what can I use as a milestone goal, like a smaller goal to hit, in order to sort of keep moving my way towards that primary goal again. The important thing is you shed off that old shell and you evolve and you grow. So she says, I feel I have no more real goals anymore. I feel a bit lost and honestly don't know where to go from here. I've noticed my whole attitude to everything is negative, and I'm really trying hard to get out of it, but nothing seems to really be working. Is there any advice or tips that you can give me to boost my positivity? Well, like I said, you have to accept that discomfort and you have to grow from it. Ask yourself things like, what have you learned from this experience? What skills do you need to focus on next? What positive things have you learned from this experience which you can use to help drive and push you forward? What do you need to change about yourself in order to grow? Carl Jung said there's no coming to consciousness without pain. Robert Gary Lee said wisdom is nothing more than healed pain. So I hope that helps, and if anyone else has a question that they like answered, please send me an email to Paragraphs Max, and I will either reply via the email or I'll create another video response like this. And if you find this useful, please let me know in the comments. Let me know if there's something that you took away from this which you can apply in your own life.